So first question, what originally drew you towards filmmaking? What inspired you towards filmmaking?
Um, I kind of, when I was a little kid, I kind of wanted to be a writer, actually. I always liked to tell stories. And I was always like artsy, like I like to draw and. And then I entered to a high school in fine arts that here in Mexico it's called CEDART. And then there I studied theater. Um, And then I realized when I was acting that I enjoyed more the process behind the acting, like preparing the scenes and the characters. So I started to want to make films. And then I went to ask about the film school. And they told me there that I was too little and that I had to study something else first to become a filmmaker. And I took that really seriously. I was so disappointed, but I did it. And I studied in fine arts painting school. And then, like, my love for filmmaking was still there. And my paintings always were about creating stories also. So then I end up in filmmaking school, but somehow I think it's always been there, like in the back of my mind, like to tell stories, to make film like my main craft thing, or I don't know how to say it, but the thing that I want to make more is has been always filmmaking. Yeah.
So as you said, you wanted to become a filmmaker earlier, and then you went to film school. So do you think like film school really help, or it doesn't help? You can become a filmmaker without film school as well.
Not at all. I think filmmakers can like study wherever, or not study at all. Like I think school helps you in a way that you meet people that want the same thing that you want, and then you create this family, film family, that it's going to help you through the years. And also, I'm a very nerdy person, so I love school in all the forms that it's a school. So I think for me it was a good way to become a filmmaker. But I also teach young students, young people that wants to become a filmmaker, and I never tell them like you have to go to school. I don't think you have to go to school. I think you have to watch films, you have to live, like you have to have experiences, and then to write, to film, to do the stuff. But I think school is not um, obligatory, or yeah.
Brilliant. So let's talk about your film, like Olote first. So it explores the themes of memory and loss. So what inspired the story, and what was the process of making it?
um I loved that film because I was in 2018 or 2019, I think. I was already in film school. I shot a short film before that. The school makes you do this short film, but you cannot send it to festivals or wherever. It's called Ficción Uno, like Fiction One. And it was about a young kid who discovers his sexuality at 7 years old. And I realized there that I really wanted to explore like these complex topics or themes, but through the eyes of childhood, because that was easy for me to understand this complex reality through the eyes of memory childhood. And then you have this exercise that is called Fiction 2. And that was Olote. So I was 2019, and there was something happening in Syria with, there's always something happening in Syria. And I was looking at these images about children with guns. And I thought that that was horrible and like impossible. I don't know how to say it properly in English, but that image was very strong for me, and I think for a lot of people. And I thought I have to make a short film about this. But then, in the process of investigating for the film, I realized that I didn't have to go to Syria to find kids with guns, like in my country, in Mexico, with the narco war. We were already having these young people, these children, involved in something horrible as war is. And so I decided to change the context and investigate more. And I read this book from a Mexican journalist called Javier Valdez. It's called Huérfanos del Narco, which means like orphans of narco, and that was like an amazing and so sad and so terrifying book that I decided to write the story of Olote, and yeah, that was like the seed or the beginning of that short film.
Okay, okay. And how long it took to complete the film? What was the process like shooting, post production?
Like the writing process, I always take long time in the pre-production. Like the writing and investigating process was like a year and a half, I think, or a year, something like that. And then we shot for 5 days. That's like a rule in the school. And we shot in 16 millimeters in film material, which was amazing, an amazing experience. Everyone told me not to work with kids and film because we have so short material and it was so hard. But these kids were amazing. Like they did it so beautifully, and they were so engage with the topics, because also it's a difficult subject to portray, and we treat it with love, like to think about why we are doing this story. Even with the young girl that was 6 years old, we talked about with her parents and her, like what does this mean and why it's important to tell this violent story. And I think they were like amazing kids, so loving, and all the team also was like very aware of what does it mean to have child in set. So I think that's like the main thing that I always want to make, like people, the crew, aware of this is not the same as other films. Like you have to put the children in the center, and then you have to make everything around work for them to make this kind of film. So yeah, the process was 5 days, and then post production took like a year. That because of school things and policies and whatever. I was rushing, but it wasn't possible. And that film actually took a while to make a premiere. I was so scared, like nobody wanted the film, and I was like, "Oh no, this is so bad, so sad," because of all the people that were building this film. I was so ashamed, like oh my god, I did it so wrong for them. And then Huesca International Film Festival took us, and that was amazing. And from there, like another other festivals were like wanted the film, and I was so relieved, so happy, but so relieved that it has its life. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant, brilliant. Was it a self-funded film or the film school gave the money to make the film?
So the film school, Centro de Capacitación Cinematográfica, which is one of the main schools of film here in Mexico, they give you like this is I don't know how to say in English, but it's a government school, so you don't have, yeah, so you don't have to pay a tuition, like a big tuition. So that's a help from start. And then they give you the equipment, like the camera, the lighting, the mics, all of the equipment. And they give you, in that case, latas. I don't know how, the film material. The yeah, I don't know how to say it, but they give you like, I don't remember the how many, but they give you some, and then you have to pay everything else. Like I had to make Kickstarter for raising money, and we did that, and we paid food, accommodation. I didn't pay salaries, only the kids. I paid them with like the toys they wanted, but they paid something. But all the people that worked in the film didn't got paid. Yeah.
So let's talk about your latest film, Casa Chica, which is going to be shown in Berlin. So first of all,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you.
So it explores the family separation in childhood. So what inspired the story?
So this is an autobiographical story. So when in 2020, in the pandemic, well, 2019, 2020, the pandemic, I shot this documentary with my mom because that was like the program I was in school. Like we have to make this documentary, and because of the pandemic, I couldn't go outside. I didn't have the equipment of the school. We were all locked down. So, but I didn't want to just stop filming. So, with my little camera, with some mics that my friend lent me, I shot this documentary about some questions that I have about my father. But I wanted to have the conversation with my mother. So we did this documentary. It was a beautiful process that it's not finished yet, but it opens like all these new memories and all this new information about my beginning story. Or I don't know how to say it, but yeah, but the things that I didn't know, and then now I know. So I started writing the script of Casa Chica, kind of like with those memories, and with my school friends we were so bored. So we make this like workshop in online, and we started to read our scripts and what we were working on, and what we wanted to make for the final short film in school. So they helped a lot to, yeah, to make this workshop and work the ideas. And then I realized that I wanted to make it a little fictional. Like I didn't want it to be so close to me. So I changed the names and I changed the times a little bit, kind of to protect myself, to protect my family. Then other things happened, but but yeah, like that was the main idea. And so I have a sister that half sister that is my same age, and that's the seed of the story. Like when did I realize this, what my father told me about this, what the family was talking about this or no, or what was the secret. And in the process of making the script, I realized, talking to my brother, my oldest brother, that his experience and my experience were completely different. Uh, Even though we grew in the same house with the same mom, with the same dad, the same issues, he was like in another level of awareness in our childhood, and I was like so little that I didn't get all the things. So I thought that was beautiful to portray in a film, like so interesting to deep in the memory of our childhood that were so different.
So, like, how did you find the funding? Like, is it self-funded or like, how did you find the producer?
Same, like this short film is my thesis. Like in the film school, they like fiction one, fiction two, and then a documentary, and then you make your final short to graduate. So this is Casa Chica is my graduate film, and it's funded same way as Olote. Like the school gives you the equipment, they give you some money also. In this case, they give you some money, and then I raised like the same Kickstarter, and all my family, my friends are like the angels that make me like support my craziness, because yeah, they paid somehow for the film. Yeah.
So, like in Olote as well, and in this film, like you work with children. Like, what was the casting process in this film? And did you face any difficulties like working with them?
I love work with children, and as I said before, it's like the way I understand sometimes this world better than anything else, like through the eyes of childhood. And in my first film, I contacted my best friend, whose name is Meraki Pradis. She's the casting director and the acting coach of my first film, and Casa Chica. Olote, she was the casting director, but she couldn't make the acting coach. But well, I work with her all along. Like we have this project called Pininos, which is a project about casting and coaching from filming, for filmmaking and theater. and uh, and we decided to start this because we thought the industry sometimes is very aggressive and mean and like with children, and don't understand, I think, like, or yeah, they understand, but they are more interested in money than love. So we started this project to kind of acompañar, I don't like to be close the children and work with them. So I she is a genius behind the casting. Like she has an amazing eye, and she's so loving with the kids that we are making these castings like in groups. We don't do casting like one by one kid because we think that's too aggressive. So we play with them basically. We get to know them, and then we start to realize, oh, this is good for the character, or no, my character in paper was dead and this kid is amazing, so let's rewrite the script and adapt the story to this amazing kid that we just are playing with, you know. So we saw kind of like 100 kids, and then we make a shorter group, like 20 maybe, and we make kind of a workshop with those kids, and then we selected the protagonist of both short films. Yeah.
So it's going to be shown in Berlin, as I said. Like, how excited are you, and like, how do you see it shaping your career, and what are your expectations from the festival as well?
I think it's crazy that it's showing in Berlin. I was so happy, so happy, and I think a part of me doesn't really know what does this mean, because I'm excited. I'm so excited and happy for all the people involved in the film, you know, because you don't make this alone. I mean, they contact the director for interviews, or I'm the one going there, but it's not mine anymore. It's a lot of people putting their hearts in these films. So for that, I'm very happy. But I think I'm missing like something. I don't know. Like, what does this mean? Because also festivals are weird, and sometimes you have a great film and it doesn't go to these main events, and sometimes I think it doesn't happen that you don't have a great film and it ends up in these events, I think. But yeah, I think there's a lot of people making amazing films and they don't have these opportunities, and I think, I hope I'm being clear, but I think it means for me the possibility to keep making the things that I love more than anything, you know, like maybe someone see the film and connect and they want me and my team to make another one. So for me, that's the best award that I can win from going to this festival, to make more opportunities for the people that it's helping me making these films. Yeah.
So, like, as you are a filmmaker and you have gone to film school, like there you might have seen a lot of films. So, are there any like favorite films and filmmakers that have influenced you a lot?
I love films with kids as protagonists, and like I always go back to Tomboy from Celine Sciamma, and to Boyhood from Richard Linklater. Like always, that like I watch those films once a year because I find them beautiful. And lately, a friend of mine recommended 20,000 species of bees. I don't know if that's the, yeah, okay.
It was shown in
Yeah.
Berlin. It was shown in Berlin
Yeah.
primarily.
Yeah. And I was like, I saw the film 4 times in the movie theaters. Like, I thought it was so beautiful, like so full of life and meaning and deepness. Like, I want to make someday, I hope I make a film like that. um yeah, like and also Verano 1993, Summer 1993, Carla Simon's film. I loved that film, and I was lucky enough to my boyfriend, as a birthday gift, gave me the email from the personal email from the director. So I write her and she was my guide, my mentor. I don't remember how what's the word, but she was my mentor for Casa Chica, so that was also amazing, amazing. Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So my last question is like, there are a lot of filmmakers, like aspiring filmmakers in the world. So you have made a film now; it's going to be shown in Berlin. So what advice would you give to them, like if they want to make a film and become a filmmaker?
To young filmmakers, or I missed the word. Young
Aspiring
film.
filmmakers and
Ah, pardon. Yeah. Um, so the first thing I will say is you have to be careful to the things that we are watching in so rapidly or speed way in TikTok. Like I don't want to be an old lady, but and I watch TikTok and I have TikTok, but I think it does something to your brain, and then you are not patient enough to watch the life in front of you. So I think one of the main things you have to do when you want to make a film is to appreciate life, even tragedy, or like I'm not saying everything it's wonderful and a rainbow. Like we have some things horrible happening in front of us and also beautiful, and we have to be patient to watch and experience that. And I think that's today that it's a thing that you have to train yourself to do, because all the mediums and all these platforms and whatever are making us watch a lot of content, like very very yeah, like in a speed that it's crazy. So I think you have to slow down and breathe and watch and experience. And the second thing is, like, it's kind of a contradiction, but I think it's not. Use your cell phone. I mean, you have a camera, and I know that these films are not making with a cell phone, but you have this tool, this amazing tool in your hands that you can use to start creating whatever you want to create. And then you think about how to raise a 20 million pesos film or whatever. Like that will come, but you have to start making things to be a filmmaker. It's not only happening in your brain or waiting for the maximum school of film to take you. If that doesn't happen, that doesn't mean you're not a filmmaker. So you have to do things. I think that's, yeah, what I will say to them.